Hey, what's going on, guys? Nick from Straw Hats YGO here. I am back with another deck profile. Of course, it is an Eldlich deck profile, one of my favorite decks of all time. This one is my first placed list. I went undefeated at my locals Back to Duel tournament. I ended up winning the awesome Poker's Night playmat, which you see here. This is my Eldlich Predaplant branded list. Now, a lot of people have seen the Predaplant branded stuff at the YCS and on several YouTubers channels like DB Grinder. I don't think that anyone is playing the Eldlich version of it like I am. I built this myself and put some stuff together. I really like this version of the deck. I think it synergizes extremely well with the Predaplant stuff, and I think the Eldlich engine is really good at breaking boards, setting up follow-up, and it's just basically playing three engines all smushed together. I really enjoy it. It's been performing extremely well on a local level. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any regionals that I've been able to go to in my area to see if it performed outside of the local level, but a lot of the locals I've been going to, I've been doing very well with this deck. So I just want to share with you guys my profile for it. I'm not really going to be going over any combos. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. If you want to check out Predaplant combos, I'm going to link DB Grinder in the description below. He has a video about Predaplant combos, and it's very helpful, very insightful. That's how I learned a lot on how to play the deck. But I'm just going to discuss some of the interaction with the Eldlich cards and so on and so forth in the deck profile. So starting off with the main deck, it is an Eldlich deck, so of course we have to play double Eldlich the Golden Lord. I think 3's too many, 1's too little. This card is insane at breaking boards because you could pitch it to obviously target a card your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. It does not destroy. Also, it is a 3,500 beater on the way back. It just gets huge and it helps you push for game. Next, I have Double Fallen of Albaz. Obviously, it's a branded deck. You got to play Albaz. I play 2 Albaz because in the main combo that you're almost always doing, you banish the first Albaz off of Albion's effect, and it helps you. Playing 2 helps you, extend on turn 3 once you search your branded fusion. During the end phase of the Albion, you send out the Mirror Jade, so on and so forth. You need to, basically. 1 Aluber the Doomer of Boober, or whatever the hell MBT says, shoutouts to him. Aluber is a good normal summon, just searches branded fusion, or you special summon it off branded opening. This is your only target for it. Now for the Predaplant stuff, we have triple Orphis Scorpio. This is the best normal summon in the deck. This discards a monster and then can special summon a Predaplant from your deck. A lot of times people think that you're going to be special summoning the Darlington Cobra with this effect. A lot of times you're not. Most of the time you're special summoning Kalemio Sundew, which is this guy right here. Kalemio Sundew has a really good effect. You can once per turn fusion summon using monsters on your hand or field, dark monsters. I'm sorry, it can only fusion summon a dark monster using monsters from your hand or field as material. And it can also use monsters your opponent control that have predator counters. So in certain situations, if you already have an established Dragostapelia and this comes up on your next turn, you can basically super poly. Obviously they can respond to it, but still using your opponent's monsters as fusion material has always been good. Double Buffocolia, this is one of the new cards. This is a really good card. It's a pendulum where the pendulum scale says you can fusion summon a dark fusion monster from your hand or field as material. Also, if you have the other pendulum, you can use this as material for the fusion summon because it allows you to use monsters in your pendulum zone as fusion material. The other new one is Belisp. Belisp is a really good card. When it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand except itself. And if a monster has a predator counter on the field, you could special summon this card from your graveyard but banish it when it leaves the field. So it won't get its effect if you special it back, but it is recursion. It's an extra body. It's something that you can just use to fusion summon. And then the one-ofs, we have Triantis and we have Darlington Cobra. I hate this card. This card sucks. I draw it all the time, but we still win games even though we draw it. You need to have this card in deck. I'm almost tempted to play 2 of it, but I can't see myself doing that because I don't want to draw it more often than I already am. Triantis is like, okay, if you use this fusion material, it gets back the Buffocola that's face up in your extra deck. It also allows you to use Buffocola as fusion material, which isn't too bad. The last monster you're playing is Stay Sailor Romarin. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a plant monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. This allows you to send the Belisp to the graveyard, or if you don't have a fusion monster in your graveyard already and you want to make Mirror Jade, you can send the Predaplant fusion from your deck to the graveyard with this effect. Really good card. You're always sending it off of branded fusion. Speaking of which, triple branded fusion. It's a branded deck. You got to play branded fusion. Triple Cursed Eldland. This card is extremely good because it searches Golden Lord or it searches the traps if you already have Golden Lord. It helps you break boards. It helps you going first. It helps you going second. I really like this card at 3 in this deck specifically. triple Droplet, and triple Pot of Prosperity. These are the utility cards. If I owned Predapractice, this would be a playset of Predapractice. My friend was letting me borrow one for a little while, but once the reprint comes out at the end of July, I believe it is, the next Legendary Duelist set, I will be playing Predapractice instead of Prosperity, or maybe both. We're gonna work with ratios, and we're gonna figure out what we want to do there. We have double branded opening. This special summons a Luber. Luber searches branded fusion. That's really all it does. It's also something that discards, so you can discard your Eldlich cards. And then the 3 1-ofs, we have Predaprime Fusion, Super Polymerization, and Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion's 1-card combo. If you want to see that combo, check out DB Grinder's combo tutorial on Predaplant. Super Poly. This card's insane. It's searchable. Drawing, it's never bad. Searching, it's never bad. It really depends on the deck. I mean, if you play against like Fluanderies, obviously it's never going to come up. And then the last card is the Predaprime Fusion. DB Grinder also agrees that this is a mandatory card. I agree as well. This card is insane. This lets you fusion summon a dark monster from your field as long as you have a Predaplant, and you have to use 2 of your monsters, but you could also use your opponent's monsters, so this card isn't too bad. It summons the triple Predaplant fusion guy, who I do not know how to pronounce his name, using a dark monster your opponent controls, which is really cool. Alternatively, this just lets you, if you have, just under lethal on board, if you have this, you can in battle phase activate this, fusion summon another Dragostapelia, a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, almost anything from your extra deck, and it lets you push for game. Moving on to the traps, we have a triple Eldlixir of Scarlet Sanguine. This special summons Eldlich the Golden Lord from your deck. We have triple Conquistador. This pops a face-up card. Double Haquero, banish card from graveyard, non-targeting. This doesn't need to be at 3, honestly. It's really kind of meh, this format. It's just not great. And the last trap is Branded Banishment. In your normal combo, Albion is going to set this during your first turn. And then these 2 cards work really well together. So your end combo, you usually have Mirror Jade and Dragostapelia. What you do is once you've used both of their effects, you activate Predaprime Fusion, fusion those 2 into another Dragostapelia. And then you Branded Banishment, summon back the Mirror Jade. So you basically get 4 interruptions out of the first turn combo. It's really good. So that's it for the main deck. We're going to move on to the extra deck here. For the branded cards, obviously triple Mirror Jade, triple L. I'm sorry. And that is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we have double Mirror Jade, we have double Albion, and double Lubellion. This is all you play for the branded engine. This is the only one that you could probably cut to 1. You do not summon this all too often. It really depends on what you're trying to do and what your combo is. I thought about cutting this for 1 Titanic Clad. I'm going to probably try that because this also just... Titanic Clad's another thing that can send Golden Lord to the graveyard other than summoning another Albion. It really all depends. Sometimes you run out of Albion if you're sending them off a Mirror Jade, but 2/2/2 is fine for now. Maybe 2/2/1/1. In the future for the Predaplants, triple Dragostapelia. This card is absolutely insane. It is a skill drain for anything that has a Predator counter. This just gives out Predator counters. Also, it makes things level 1, which is really good because a lot of Synchro cards in this format, a lot of Synchro monsters, where levels actually matter. Very few and far in between, and XZ's level matters, but that's besides the point. We have double Ambulance. This card is basically a custom card. I do not know how this card got printed. On summon, it searches a Predap card from your deck, and then you could target a monster on the field, and you can tribute it, including itself, or you could target monsters your opponent controls that have Predator counters, tribute it to special summon a Predaplant from your deck. And this is the card that's summoning Dragostapelia most of the time. Not Dragostapelia. This is the card that's summoning Darlington Cobra most of the time. All right. The big 3 guy, not even going to try to pronounce his name. Super Poly target. It's not a bad effect. And then 1 Chimera Phlasia. This card's actually super cool. So it can banish a monster that has less levels than it once per turn. When it attacks, it gains 1,000, makes the monster it's attacking lose 1,000. And then when it's sent to the graveyard during the next standby phase, you could search for a fusion card. I think it's really good. I really like playing the card. It comes up. And then for the last 2 cards, we have 1 Guardian Chimera, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, Super Poly target, Predaprime Fusion target to push for game. Guardian Chimera I've actually never summoned in the 4 weeks now. About a month I've been playing this deck. I have yet to summon Guardian Chimera. It just hasn't come up. But still, it's a good card. It works in theory. I really like it. I'm probably not going to cut it. Moving on to the side deck, we have triple Anti-Spell Fragrance. It's the new IO. Triple Nibiru. A lot of people do not respect this card. I think it's actually pretty okay, this format. Triple Dark Ruler No More. We want to focus more siding against combo decks. Our main deck does really, really well against back row decks. It also shits on Despia, so our main deck is super, super good against back row, Despia. So our side deck we want to tailor to stuff that we're probably going to see, like Fluanderies, which I know Fluanderies isn't a combo deck, but the Dark Ruler helps out the Fluanderies board. Also Sword Soul, Therion Punk stuff. There's a lot of things that we want to play around, so those cards really help. Double D Barrier, this card's insane. Might put this to 3, don't know how I feel about it yet. And then we have back row removal, double Twin Twister. It's just another card that discards 1 Harpies, Feather Duster, and 1 Red Reboot. This deck can actually push for game quite frequently because we're playing the Eldlich stuff. If we see the Eldlich stuff plus full combo, this deck puts game on board very, very, very easily. So Eldlich out's a card. The Mirror Jade Vanish is a card. We're able to put so much damage on the board that Red Reboot just stopping, the Eldlich player, the Fluanderies player, it really doesn't matter. Able to stop them for the turn from doing really anything. This deck can really go through on the follow-up. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please leave a like and comment down below what you want to see next. Don't forget to subscribe to Straw Hats YGO, your premier place for all things Yu-Gi-Oh! And anime. This is the captain of the ship, Straw Hats YGO, signing off.